What is up, guys? Welcome back. Today we're going to be doing something different. I don't usually do these, but I did it a little bit with the Obi-Wan series and stuff like that. We're going to be doing a review. So today we are going to be reviewing Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Honestly, okay. Funny thing is, right? So this is going to be before I say that, I should get into this. This is going to be, a half spoiler, first half spoiler free, second half with spoilers. I say first half, probably going to be like first like portion of the video spoiler free. I don't know how much I can say without spoiling, but like, yeah, I'd like to give a pretty good review if people haven't seen it yet. It just came out like yesterday. So funny story, I actually wasn't sure if I was gonna even see this movie like at all because I just haven't been watching Marvel movies recently. You know what I mean? Like they're just not the same. That's kind of the thing is they're just like really not the same. Like you guys know what I mean. But I loved Black Panther 1. Even so, like I wasn't sure I was actually gonna watch this movie, but I was like, okay, you know what? Some friends and I just ended up like going to see it. So, and I'm really, really happy I did see it because this movie was actually so good. That's to not spoil the movie, but to spoil my review, yeah, it was great. It was so good. What I want to say, okay, now getting into this is like basically in my opinion, they made like the best movie they possibly could, like without Chadwick Boseman, which we're really gonna miss him still, and it just didn't feel the same without him. Of course, it's like a Black Panther movie, nothing. It's just not gonna feel the same without him. But like, given his unfortunate absence, like they did the best they possibly could with this movie, and I genuinely feel that way. It was a really good movie. Is it as good as Black Panther 1? I don't know. I really like that movie too, so it's like always holds like a special place in my heart. I'm a huge Black Panther fan just in general, like ever. Yeah, like I just love. I mean, look at this. Okay, for the movie, right? They had this like little combo. For it's like a popcorn and drink thing, right? And you get like a tin with it. I'll show everything. But it only costs like $2 more than just like a regular popcorn drink. You get this like you got like a necklace thing with it. Here, I guess try to show it to the camera. Kind of cool. It's kind of neat. I figured I'd wear it for the review. You also get this. I got like it's like a popcorn tin. It's got all the characters on it. It's actually like a decently sized thing too. You see this? Like big as my head. And then there was like, a drink container. This is only like if you live in Canada and you can go to a Cineplex, like this shit was only about like $2 more than like a regular popcorn drink combo, and I got all this, and I'm like, it was nice. Anyway, capitalism aside, the movie was very good. So one thing I really liked about this movie, it's not really, yeah, it's not spoiling because it is in the trailer. Is that, and yeah, you know who the villain is. The villain is Namor, and which I thought was really cool. Like I'm not like a huge comic book fan, like so I didn't know who he was like prior to this, but I'm like, wow, he was cool. Um, and what they did was like this has a lot to do with like Mayan mythology and like they're talking about like Shock, Koko Khan. Like I played Smite, but like I don't know, I always like when I learned about like the Aztecs like in school for like history class, and like that was like always like super interesting to me, and like mine is like pretty similar, like it's along the same lines. They're definitely not the same, like yeah, I'm not I'm not calling them the same, but yeah, I've always been interested in like that kind of culture. It was really, really cool to like see a lot of it brought to life on the big screen, like at least just some of their culture and some of their like some of the mythology, like the gods. They talk about like Shock, who's the rain god, and then like Koko Khan is basically the like feathered serpent. He's like he's the wind god. So that's what they call that's actually what they call the villain, like Namor. They also call him Koko Khan, his own people. They call him Koko Khan because they think like he's the wind god. Like he's got these feathered boots, he can fly. It's really cool. He's like man's kind of OP, honestly. Um, but yeah, he's okay. We're back. I spoiled something by accident, so it's been cut out now. You guys aren't going to see it. Um, but yeah, yeah. So basically, back to the non-spoiler stuff. Another thing I thought was really great about this movie was uh I really liked the direction to go with like Shuri as the main as like the new Black Panther. I thought was great. Like I mean I don't remember I didn't follow it too much because I was just like kind of devastated by losing Chadwick and I was kind of like how are they even going to do another movie? Like I never followed any of the stuff so this could have been decided a while ago but I wasn't aware of it. But basically I do remember hearing some people talk about like oh maybe it'll be like M'Baku and I was like that would be kind of cool but like Shuri being like the protagonist of this movie felt like right, and it was really it was great. Like the actor did a great job. Every actor that was in this movie did a great job. The actor for Namor did a great job too. Yeah, it was just like it was just really good overall. Um, yeah, I don't know. So yeah, I don't think it's better than Black Panther 1, but it's very good. Like if I had to give a rating like 9 out of 10, like if I had to give an out of 10 rating, I think that's what I'd give it. Like it just this movie kind of made me like it's the first MCU movie I've saw in a while that's like I don't know how to describe it. Like it made me feel that way. That like they used to make you feel like the same way Black Panther 1 made me feel. It's not going to be the same. Obviously, it's not. Of course, it can't be the same. But like it made you feel that way, you know. The last movie that kind of did that to me was Shang-Chi was actually like really good. That movie was so good. But yeah, especially like as like an Asian person, like you know, that it was like our Black Panther. But no, yeah, no movies just have been doing this. Like the Marvel movies, you just don't I don't get the same vibe with the MCU anymore. I just haven't been like following it as much. But yes, this movie is incredible. So if you have not seen it, go right now. Go to the theater. If you loved Black Panther 1, you're gonna like this. Go to the theater right now. Um, I think that's all I'm gonna say for the non-spoiler part because I kind of just want to get into the like meat and potatoes of it now. But yeah, basically the movie's great, so watch it. It gave me like that same feeling that Black Panther 1 did, which I maybe not the same feeling, but a very similar feeling, which I wasn't sure was actually going to be possible. So that's like a testament to how good of a movie it is. Okay, so spoilers. If you don't want it spoiled, if you haven't seen it yet, leave. I'm giving you a countdown. Five, four, three, two, one. Spoiler time. Okay, so I guess I give a bit of a like a synopsis too. Not really. Like you've seen the movie if you're watching the spoiler part, or you just want me to give a synopsis because you're not gonna watch it. I don't know. It's up to you. But basically, you know, it opens with like T'Challa's funeral, and it's like, geez, and it's sad. The movie's just sad. Like you just, I was just kind of sitting there in my seat, like, like damn, like you know what I mean? Like you know, you usually get like hyped for like a superhero movie. I'm just sitting there like, Jesus Christ, like this is depressing. But for the first, I'd say probably about 15 minutes of it, like you know, and they're talking about how it's like, okay, T'Challa's dead. They're all like they're having the funeral, they're letting him go and everything, and like the mom, you know, his mom becomes like the new queen of Wakanda. So it's basically like that. She has to rule now. That's what we focus on in the first part of the movie. And like, you know, the conflicts with like the outer people, like people non-Wakandans, you know, people like that. Um, like the US or whatever, UN, like United Nations, all those, yeah, basically. And then and like all I could think of this whole time, all I could think is just this is not the same. This will not be the same. I cannot enjoy this movie. Like I can't do it. Like I just thought to myself, like I was like, I don't see how I can possibly enjoy this movie without Chadwick, without T'Challa, without the heart and soul of Black Panther, the Black Panther. You know, he is the Black Panther, and I just was like, I I couldn't see it. I was sitting there, and that's all I could think was like I will not be able to enjoy this movie. Like I'll watch it, like I'm sitting here watching it and I'm like, okay, great. You know, I'm trying to give it a fair shot too, but it's just like all I could think was just I can't enjoy this. That went away quick. That went away so quick. Like after that first like 15 minutes, I started to really get into it. I forgot all about that. That thought didn't cross my mind again throughout the whole movie. And that's what I think is a testament to how good the movie is that like I had gone into it with that kind of mindset thinking like this can't be the same. How am I possibly gonna enjoy it? And I did, and I really did enjoy it like a lot. It was a great movie. So basically, yeah, it's never gonna be the same without him, and it can't be the same. But as I said before, like I think they made like as good of a movie as they possibly could without him. And I think Shuri was a great for the like choice to be the main protagonist of the movie. But now we'll start getting into some of the other details. I just wanted to point that part out. But like, I guess that could have been in the non-spoiler section, but I don't know. Um, because he dies. Like the character would die if the actor died. Unfortunately, it's just. But yeah. So one of the first things that happens is that the ongoing storyline is that Shuri basically has everyone else has kind of possibly moved past T'Challa's death. Like they haven't really, but like they've gotten to the point where like they've made peace with it. Like at least the mom has made peace with it in her own mind, but Shuri's just been pushing it to the side, bottling it up. Like, she won't actually deal with it. And the mom is like, listen, you got to deal with this. And, you know, she's trying she's trying to make like the herb, the herb that turns them into the Black Panther. Like she had been trying to recreate that. And the mom is like, how or someone asks like, how's that going? I think it's the mom. She asks like, how's that going? Like how's making the herb going? And then Shuri kind of reveals like she stopped. Like she's like, well, like I wasn't trying to save the Black Panther. I was trying to save my brother. Like she doesn't actually care about making the herb again. Like she had stopped once T'Challa died. Like it didn't matter to her anymore. And that was that hit deep. So you can tell she has not moved on. So her mom takes her out and she's like, okay, we got to do this ritual that I was doing that moved me past it. And she's like, I saw him. I felt him, or I felt his presence. Like he's not gone. And like, and Shuri's like, well, he is gone. Like, and then because, part of the thing, her character arc, even in the first movie, is it's like she doesn't believe in like the whole in their kind of tradition, like as like M'Baku says, like a young girl who scoffs at tradition or whatever, a child, I think that's what he says, is like that's kind of part of her arc. It's like she's not with the tradition like everyone else is. She doesn't believe in like the spirituality of the Black Panther and like their culture. Like she doesn't believe in the ancestral plane, is basically what her mom says. Like so she's like, T'Challa's gone, like he's never coming back. I can't see him anymore. Whereas the mom said she did see him. So that was yeah. That's pretty much the ongoing storyline. So she takes her out. She takes her out like, don't bring any of our weapons. Don't bring their beads. Um, anything. I don't forget exactly what the beads are called. Kamoyo beads. Is that what it is? I don't remember. Sorry. But you know, and they go out into the lake and they're like, and they sit there. Okay, I guess I should point this out first, but I missed the part. What happens before that is there's an attack on like the U.S. because the U.S. is trying to like mine, or either the U.S. or someone in the UN is trying to mine basically. Great, I'm forgetting vibranium. Yeah, the name vibranium. So they're trying to do that, and then like someone else tries to mine it in like some ship. They find it, and then they get attacked by these like sea people, which I'm like, oh, this is cool. Like I'm like, who are these like mermaid people? Like these aren't like Wakandans, are they? I'm like, so I'm like, this is cool stuff. Um, and then basically, like that guy, the leader of those people, he comes to them. Like he infiltrates Wakanda, which is like unheard of to them. Like it's like a reality check. They're like, "Oh God, like how did this guy get in?" Like, and that's what the mom is saying. And he basically says listen, like the outside world is coming for vibranium, and like and you guys are gonna help me stop them because like, and all that. And then so the Wakandans are like, hold on a minute, like this is like a big reality check for them because it's like, oh, we were the only ones with vibranium, but no, 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 there's this entire other society now that they're finding out also has it, who lives under the sea. They're like, oh God, and like this man just got into Wakanda, like, and like it's unheard of to them. It's like no one gets into Wakanda, and he just left too. He just got out just as quick as he came, and he makes them a deal. Basically, he says, you find the scientist that built this machine that can detect vibranium, and you bring him to, or you bring him or her to me, basically. And he's like, and he implies like I'm gonna kill them because like we can't have that. So he's like, I'll ally with Wakanda basically if you guys bring us this scientist. So Shuri and Okoye go out to find the scientist, all that. I'm sorry, I'm doing too much of like a plot synopsis thing here, but it's like, yeah, they'll go and find the scientist. And what happens is, since this is the spoiler part, one of my favorite lines from the movie when they do find this scientist who's like this young American girl who's just like, smart beyond her years, which is like cool because it's like it's kind of it's a character that's like related to Shuri but like in a different way. It's like, she's a gifted like genius at a young age and no one else like really respects that. Anyways, anyway, yeah, one of my favorite lines from the movie is like she apparently has built something like similar to Iron Man's suit, and they're like, one of the like FBI agents is like, "Shit, she got Iron Man's suit." It's so good. Um. Anyways, yeah, they end up, there's a whole chase scene. They rescue her, and then, but everyone gets knocked out, and the fish people, if you want to call them, that's what M'Baku refers to him as. I think he's like Fishman. He calls him the Fishman, and then or they come up and they want to kidnap the scientist, but like Shuri wakes up and she's like, no, 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 like, listen, take me to your like land, like we can negotiate this, like don't hurt her. So they bring both her and the scientist there. She gets there, and then the villain or you can call him the antagonist. He's not like he's like more of an anti-hero. He's not a hero. I don't know. It's a morally gray character, which I appreciate. It's not just like a straight up villain, which is always the best kind of villain. Um, so he's like, he shows Shuri like she's like, you're the crown princess of Wakanda. Like we're not gonna hurt her. So he's like, listen, like this is. He's like he tells her his motives. Like this is why. Like I can't have people in the outside world attacking like what I've built. Basically, he says he went to the outside world and he explains his origin and he saw like what those people do. Basically, like what they do out there, and then he vowed like to always like protect his people and like that he's like he thinks they're disgusting basically. He's like outsiders like the surface world people, I guess that's what he calls them because like they're underwater. He's like the surface world is like gross, it's disgusting. And he believes that like everyone is disgusting, so he's like I will go to war with them if they come for he's like if I see them as a threat, which he now does because they're going for vibranium, he's like I'll fight this and he wants Wakanda on his side. Like Shuri tells him like I can't let you kill this scientist and he says like it's not about the scientist anymore, like it's about like what this means. And then he's like and she's like hey like don't take her, like take me or something, and he's like well do you want to see the his like country, his nation? And she's like sure. So they go and he shows her everything and it's like and she sees it and it's beautiful and it seems like one of the first times she's been happy since like T'Challa's passing. And then she sees how beautiful it is and he's like and he shows her his the capital city Talokan, which is like and he shows her it and he's like look, and he shows this big light that he's built like over it and he's like look at this, like look, he's like I gave my people the sun, like so they know what it's like. And then she sees how beautiful it is and she understands where he's coming from, like why he can't let them destroy this. But unfortunately, as it always goes in a lot of movies like this, a lack of communication ruins everything, and the queen is like, listen, like we got to get my daughter back. So she sends in Nakia, T'Challa's lover, basically, who's like great at the infiltration to go infiltrate this world and rescue Shuri. So once and like the queen distracts the king, which is Namor, from that. So they do all that, and then they get her out of there, but they while they're in there, they end up having to like shoot these guards and kill them. And Shuri's like, no, we have to save them, but like they don't have time, so they have to leave. And then they die, and he sees his people dead, like by Wakandans, and he's like, okay, this means war. So they come back. He invades like there. I don't. Okay. Also, I just. Well, I guess I'll finish with like the synopsis thing, and then I'll go over some of my thoughts. But you know, so yeah, he does that, and he goes and he invades their people. I'll try to speed it up with the synopsis too. I'm sorry. He's like, okay, I'm invading Wakanda now. So he brings all his people to Wakanda. They get like smoked. Not gonna lie, they get smoked. Like Wakanda gets destroyed by Telecon, and like he just comes in right up to the like throne room and he kills the queen. Like he drowns her. By the time Shuri gets there, she's like, damn, like her mother's already dead. They can save the scientist, but not the mother. And then he looks at her and he's like, listen, he's like, I'm giving you a week or something to mourn, bury your dead, stuff like that. And he's like, and then like you're gonna help me invade the outside world or you're gonna fight me. Like, or I'm coming back with everyone, my whole army. And it's like, oh shit. And he's like, and he says that to Shuri, cause he kills the mother. So he's like, you're the queen now. Like this is on you. So what does she do? She's like, she's obviously she's not gonna take that. Like that, I love her character, by the way. I don't know if I said this, but like, she's like, basically, she's like, me personally, I'm not gonna take that level of disrespect. So she gets a gift from him, and she uses basically, it's interesting because she uses a gift from him against him. Like, she uses a gift that he had given her because, they came to an understanding when they were in Telecon together. She uses it against him as a way, she uses that technology to find his weakness, and she uses it as a way to rebuild the herb, the Black Panther herb, and she takes it. So she brought back the Black Panther. That was another one of the overall themes of the movie was that like the Black Panther's gone because like Killmonger burned all the herbs. It's like you can't be the Black Panther anymore. It's not possible. But like she managed to synthetically rebuild that herb, so it's like she brought back the Black Panther. So that was a really cool theme because that was one of the like themes throughout the movie was that like it's gone, it's never coming back, but she found a way to bring it back. Um, she takes it, and then it's like, and in my head, I'm thinking, I know it's not possible, like it's just me being naive, but I'm like, please tell me they have some sort of like, because they said they had started filming for Black Panther 2 already, and they had some scenes. I'm like, please tell me they have some sort of scene that they can use in this situation that has Chadwick Boseman in it, that like he can appear to her in the like ancestral plane. I don't know. It was just me being naive. I'm like, please, like, so tell me it can be because everyone, like it's expected that it'll be the mom, but I'm like, come on, like it could be T'Challa, but like it's not. But what's really interesting detail is that it's Killmonger. It's him, and she's like, why are you here? Like, I don't want to see you. I want to see someone else. And he's like, no. You want to see me because he's reinforcing what she feels in her heart, which is that she wants revenge. So this is a movie, like there's a lot of great character development in this, and then he's basically telling her like, you wanted to see me, you want this revenge, and she goes and they have a like council meeting, and M'Baku is like, oh, you are the Black Panther, like you brought it back, like let's do this, like whatever she wants, we do, and she's like, we're gonna kill him, like we're gonna fight these people, and she's like, I'm gonna kill him, and she has a private conversation with M'Baku, and he's like, you can't like we can't kill him because he's a god. Like they see him as a god. Like you don't mean eternal war if we kill him. And she's like, I don't care. Like she just wants revenge. She's like, I don't care. And he's like, this is not what your mother would want. And she's like, I don't care what my mom would want. Like this is what I want. And then basically, um, yeah. So she goes and and then they basically they have their war and they use all the technology. I'm taking too long. I'll speed it up. They have the whole fight with the people. It's a great fight scene, and she fights him. She fights Namor, and she it's like a really close fight, but she does end up winning, and she gets into a position where she's about to kill him, and she hesitates, and she sees all these visions of like what she saw in his world and things back in Wakanda, and she kind of like you get like things. It's like his mom, her mom, like flashbacks like that, like citizens in the street, citizens in the ocean, and it's like, and she sees like it's like we're not so different. Like we're all really the same. Like them Wakandans and like Talokans. I don't know if that's what you call it, like Talokan-ians, something like that. She's like, it's like we're not different. And she's like, who am I to kill him and take this away? Like she has to stop there and realize she doesn't want vengeance. And it's like, yeah. At the end of the movie, basically, yeah, that's kind of all I wanted to talk about for like the synopsis. I'll just go into like why I loved a lot of the details now. So, what I'll start with is that it's like what I really liked about her character development was that it wasn't like M'Baku was just like, dude, we can't kill this guy. Like, this is just like we can't do this. And she's like, oh, yeah, you're right. Like let me, my mom wouldn't want this. Like, I'm gonna be. She's like, no, like I'm not my mom. And then like she wanted what she wanted, and it wasn't until she realized herself that wasn't what she wanted that she wouldn't try to get it, if you know what I mean. I thought that was a really good detail. Like the movie did a really good job of making her like her own independent character. Like she is not the queen, or like she is the queen, but like she's not the previous queen. She's not her mom, she's not her dad, she's not T'Challa, she's not the same. Like she is her own character, and she has her own like wants and desires and motivations, and like I thought that was great. Like it wasn't it didn't she didn't try to like follow in his footsteps. She made her own path, which is also what I think was great. I kind of like about the movie itself. Like it didn't try to lean too hard on the past movie. Like it didn't try to be Black Panther 2. Like it's its own thing. Like it's like Wakanda Forever, I guess is they put that as like the main title. Um, it's like an important theme of the movie was like dealing with the loss of T'Challa, just as we're all dealing with the loss of Chadwick Boseman, but it's like it was about like moving forward, moving on. I think this is really is a movie about letting go in many different ways. Like not only that she had to let go of him, but she had to let go of her mother. Like she had to let go of like I noticed this halfway or like at that point in the movie when she wanted to like follow her own path and get revenge. Like it was like she's letting go of everything that came before her, and she's like, no, this is what I want. Like she was letting go of everything. And then, you go even deeper into the movie, and then she lets go of that want. She lets go of the want for revenge. You go even further, and like she finally, at the end of the movie, does finally have to let go of T'Challa and like, step into like her own role. So it just in more ways than one, it's about letting go and moving forward, which I think is, it was a really great movie overall. Um, yeah, so it's basically another thing I really liked. This is just something I had to bring up because I thought it was just a really nice touch, a really great detail in the movie that it was like they mentioned about T'Challa's illness. Like she said, like he was fighting a battle that like no one knew about. Like he didn't tell anyone about his illness, or basically is like what she implied, which is really the same. I just thought it was really heartwarming. Like it was just a nice touch. Like that's the same as real life. Like Chadwick didn't tell anyone about the cancer. Like it came as a surprise when he died. No one, everyone was like, what? Like because he stayed strong and fought through that like by himself. and they transfer that like into his character, into T'Challa too. Like they put that on the screen, and I don't know, it just really it just like it meant something to me hearing her say that. Like it was like, okay, I just thought it was a nice touch that they they recognized that basically. Um, yeah, but I don't know. Now we're getting a little too sad. The movie was really good. Obviously, it's never going to be the same without him, but as I said, I think they did a great job with, they did as good of a job as they could possibly have done. Good movie. Good movie. Um, Shuri's a great protagonist. Everything about it was great. The villain was great. The themes were great. The themes of letting go, of loss, of moving forward. Everything was good. One thing I thought was a little odd was like it was basically like she kind of had to learn the same lesson that T'Challa had already learned, but like as a friend of mine pointed out that we watched with, he's like, it's not the same character learning that lesson. That's why they had to learn it again. And I was like, okay, that makes sense because basically one of the lessons she had to learn was like, basically what T'Challa did with Killmonger is like, he talks about how like this is a monster of our own creation. Like I have to fix this and stuff like that. And he's like, it's like, about kind of ending the cycle of violence, and that's what she had to do too. She could have just killed Namor, and then it would have been like the war forever, as M'Baku said. But she had to like choose to break that cycle. Um, yeah, the Black Panther one. What I really, what, as I talked about at the beginning of this, is that like I didn't think I could possibly enjoy it because Black Panther to me was T'Challa's story. Without him, it was like, what is this? Like it was of course it was about Wakanda, but it was more so like just about T'Challa himself. Like it was his story, and now it can't be his story anymore. It's just something that hurts. It's gonna hurt all of us in life. But as I said, I think they did a great job. As everyone involved, did as good of a job as they could have done. Um, I guess this is a review, so I guess I can give one more criticism because it is a review. One thing I thought was weird is that they do have like a whole arc with like out in the US and it's kind of like I just felt like it could be cut from the movie. I'm not sure exactly what it adds. It doesn't actually end up contributing to the overarching story more than just kind of feeling like exposition. I could be missing something because it does mean it is kind of like to show how the outside world thinks of like Wakanda and how that can be related to Talokan as well. But I just don't it doesn't carry enough weight. Anything that happens outside of those two places, like out in like the US or whatever, like they have with Martin Freeman, they brought him back, which I think is great, but like all the arc that involves his character is kind of just like useless in my opinion. But yeah, that isn't the only real other criticism I have of the movie. If I had to give it a rating, it'd probably be like 9 out of 10, as I said. But yeah, I do really just think that could have been cut out of the movie because the movie is long. When they call this Wakanda Forever, they meant it lasts forever. Like Jesus Christ, that movie, I think it's 2 hours and 40 minutes. Like I came out of the theater like, how long have I been here? Like I thought it was in a time loop. But the movie's also good enough that I didn't even notice how long it was until it ended. Then I kind of thought to myself, hold on, we've been here a while, haven't we? But as I say, it's like time flies when you're having fun. So I'm like, hey, like I enjoy the movie enough that I didn't notice that until the end. But this is getting way too long already. Like, what does that say there? I've been recording for about 35 minutes. I didn't mean for this to be so long. I just had a lot to say about this movie. I thought it was great. Um, if you haven't seen it, you shouldn't be watching this part. But if you haven't seen it, go out and watch it. Um, you know, yeah. If you like the video, we'll probably be doing some more stuff like this on the channel, but I also just post other videos. If you like this, feel free to like and subscribe. Uh, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I don't know. I don't have much else to say, but I just want to say to, Chadwick Boseman, we miss you. Um, we miss you, man. Just want to kind of dedicate the end to him. He's a great, not just a great actor, but a great man. So, yeah, just kind of say, we miss you, man.